call this Facilities and Finance Subcommittee meeting to order on February 25th, 2026 at 4:05 p.m. You get a roll call, please.
William Mays.
Alex Dulce.
Ernesto Mora.
Eric Sahakian.
Jackie Erdrich. Am I supposed to?
No, you can if you want.
Michelle Daniel.
Lester Mascon.
Just to make a quick correction, Mr. Mascon, sorry.
Yeah.
The 23rd. You mentioned the 25th.
Oh, sorry.
Just for the record.
February 23rd, 2026.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Any public comments at this time?
No, this time.
All right. With that, we'll start our first item, which is the LOLC phone lines.
Thank you. So I know we have Alex listed as well as Ernesto for the Little Owls Learning Center phone lines, as well as a few extra lines for the district office that are much needed. We do have proposals that we want to share, but I'm going to respectfully request that we pull this agenda item and bring it back in March. Reason being is IT and MOT have been very diligent in terms of receiving multiple quotes and proposals. As of this morning, one of the vendors got back to us that we want to present, indicating that there's a lot more work that's needed. So they've set up a time to meet with them tomorrow, so that proposal is not really complete. And then being very diligent, they also found another proposal perhaps from Verizon that might be worth looking into.
Okay.
So we're just going to mix it up a little bit, but I want to commend both IT and MOT for being diligent as far as, you know, what might work out best for the district and what's going to be the most cost effective. So if everybody agrees, Mr. Mays and Mr. Mascon, if we could pull this for March, we will be better prepared with.
Sounds good.
5 elements.
All right. Item 2, iLead draft lease agreement.
Yes, so we'll pass these around. So just to open this up, our Director of Charter Services, Shay Pattison, has been working with iLead as well as our assigned attorney, Mr. Eric Stevens, who is contracted through our district, who drafted their first lease agreement a few years back, and then he's part of the drafting of the proposal that you have in your hand. Now, I'm going to go ahead, there's a lot to sift through there. I just want to pass out the current lease agreement as far as the language. And so I did a little bit of a breakdown of both current as well as a proposed lease agreement that both Shay, iLead, as well as our attorney, Eric Stevens, had a hand in drafting. So what's going around now is a memorandum that kind of summarizes the highlights, the changes that I'd like to bring to everyone's attention. So I did mention the focus of this review is to compare, contrast some of the highlights of the current iLead lease agreement with AADUSD and with the proposed one. The financial operational risk considerations, the fiscal implications, and items that the board may wish to clarify or consider. So as far as overview of major updates, the lease agreement, of course, if this goes through and approved by our trustees, the effective date is July 1st of 26 and then goes through June 30th of 2032. It also clearly states that the lease would end early if the charter is not renewed, if they're revoked, as we all know the process of petitioning for renewals, and if the voluntarily surrendered. The following page, rent structure, is a highlight as well. So what is being proposed through this lease is a predictable rent formula, is what has been proposed at 8% of the prior fiscal LCFF funding revenue that iLead Agua Dulce has. If you have time to take a look at the current lease agreement, you will see that the 8% increases progressively year to year. That's the current one. What iLead has proposed and what we drafted was a cap at 8% as their as their enrollment is not increasing. That has been the trend for the past few years, per ILEAD, with all due respect. And adding an ADA cap of 500. So all of that really ties into the LCFF funding. Now, to put it into perspective, if it's at 8% with their fiscal revenue for LCFF, you know, the revenue might be at about, coming in for next year, if this draft is actually approved, it might be around 340,000 annually. What we received last year, 24-25 from ILEAD, because progressively went from like the 8%, 8.5, 9%, we received 384,000. So food for thought there. But again, going to the rent structure proposed, it's an 8% fixed for the full lease term if it's approved. So something to consider. So this impact replaces a more flexible negotiated structure, which you'll see in the full copy of the current ILEAD lease. So that is the impact. The justification or the thought process there that was shared with Eric Stevens, our attorney, by ILEAD, was the fact that they are not increasing enrollment, but there is slight decrease in enrollment. So they asked if they could have it at 8% of the LCFF revenue. Moving forward for number 3, maintenance and operation responsibilities. The significant change in this proposed lease is outlining maintenance responsibilities assigned to ILEAD. I think really kind of spelling that out a little bit more in depth than we had in the past. So I won't read it verbatim, but in the memo you'll see agreement now clearly specifies ILEAD is responsible for maintaining, and you'll see the bullet points from buildings and interior systems to playground equipment, all the way through playground equipment. This impact converts broad maintenance language into specific measurable responsibilities. In addition, number 4, tied to maintenance at the campus, define repair timelines. The proposed lease sets clear deadlines for repairs, 1 to 3 days for critical well system issues, basically a septic tank, 5 days for fire alarm, 10 days for roof, 30 days for standard repairs. Now again, something to consider, and I have that at the end of this memo, is, you know, that's all really dependent on the contractor's time, right? So to be kind of defined too.
I think it's good to have these sort of timelines in there, and then you can work with them.
5 days for fire alarm. So if you have a school going and your fire alarm goes down, they're putting a fire watch there for the 5 days, how are they maintaining?
We've had this before.
They have to have an actual fire watch, somebody has to go around every
So
hour.
let's put that in that, so 5 days fire alarm with fire watch during that time period.
Thank you for that. So fire watch during that time period. We'll finesse that language.
And I would say a 24-hour fire watch during that period.
Thank you, Mr. Mays. So if ILEAD does not meet these deadlines or timelines, I should say, the district may step in and perform the work with cost recovery to the district. Impact establishing clear expectations, reducing risk of delayed maintenance. That's always a positive for both lessee and us. Administrative updates. Some language here. Agreement includes minor administrative changes. Contact title from executive director to school director. That's on their end. Update signature authority. Slight wording change. Prior written approval. Revised to prior approval. Impact, these updates reflect organizational changes per ILEAD. Risk and exposure overview. District protections. Lease includes several features that protect the district, which is always a plus. You see 4 bullet points there. Again, that 8% cap, predictable revenue formula tied to LCFF, clear enforcement and correction timelines, expanded maintenance accountability, as we just went through in those previous 2 sections, waiver of Prop 39 facility claims during lease term. So those are protections, you know, in the favor of AAD-USD. Some of the exposures for the district, rent, it fluctuates with charter funding levels. Certain major infrastructure systems remain district responsibility. And that was a given anyway with the current lease.
Yes.
Some items fall within the district's purview. Removal of written from approval language could affect documentation clarity. Just my take only, they requested for prior notification. It's always nice to get things in writing. So my recommendation would be, to maintain the previous language of prior written approval.
Sorry, looks like most of the infrastructure stuff is in their hands, but what is the major things in our hands?
So the major things in our hands would be basically major repairs of replacing roofs. That's one of the things. Septics would be another one, cause I'm pretty sure that's gonna fall on us.
So that they're only responsible for roof leaks?
Patching.
Yep. And septic system maintenance, okay.
Thank you, Ernesto.
Mhm.
Alright, charter school responsibilities include broad maintenance obligations as listed previously, strict repair timelines, deadlines, annual rent reconciliation adjustments, potential late fees or interest, in exchange charter benefits from, again, that fixed ratio that they've proposed, and no annual escalation of that percentage, district coverage of select infrastructure systems, as Mr. Moore just mentioned. Operational perspective, the structure closely resembles a triple net lease model, meaning the charter is responsible for most of the day-to-day facility costs and upkeep, as it is with the current MOU, I should say, lease agreement. And then you'll see the primary risks to ILEAD, primary risks to the district. Some of these things we already covered. Legal and contractual implications. Again, proposed lease, it defines the lease terms clearly, clarifies rent calculation, expands maintenance accountability. Some of this is repetitive. Areas for possible clarification. Again, I'm not reading everything verbatim. Major repairs versus routine repairs. This is just suggestions. We could, ask for additional language there if needed. Roof and structural systems, confirm replacement responsibility, something that Mr. Mays asked for some clarity on. Repair timeline flexibility, late fees, interest, emergency or disaster events. Clarify responsibilities and force of, I guess it's a French term, majeure situations, right? Right, floods, earthquakes, things that, were uncontrolled scenarios out of our hands. Did I mispronounce that?
It's typical contract.
Mr. World Traveler.
It's in every construction contract, so that's fine.
So that's standard.
Yeah.
So overall assessment, proposed lease improves clarity, precision, strengthens district protections, clearly assigns maintenance responsibilities, define enforcement mechanisms, increases operational accountability for the charter while improving facility protection and contractual clarity for the district.
You get a couple of items for, Bill, you have anything first?
I set mine direct.
Sorry.
I had one question. The exterior cement, just when I was comparing, that section is not in the new one.
So exterior cement.
It says exterior cement, lunch tables, benches, umbrellas. That section is missing from the new one.
Good catch.
I don't, maybe they incorporated it somewhere else, or it's just not there, I'm not sure.
I'm taking notes just to make sure that, if it's not there, that there's a discussion regarding that.
And all that is not ours anymore. They put in their own, we brought everything that was ours to our sites.
Mhm. So that might
Yeah,
shed some
so
light on
that's
why
why.
that.
Yeah,
But it should still be that we don't have, that's not our responsibility.
we can purchase it.
I understand that, but I would just,
Yeah.
Even
for full
clarity,
yeah.
Mhm.
not a USC responsibility.
Yeah, maybe
Something
just
along those
putting,
lines.
like, these have been installed by,
Mhm.
like, cause I'm assuming if they leave, do they
Mhm.
then get to take them with them? And so we'd wanna note that for
Right.
posterity, so to speak,
Mhm. I'll mention that as
that they could take it with them, cause.
Should probably list
It is
our
our-
equipment and our stuff that's there, like she's
Yep.
suggesting, and that would
Yeah, cause
make
we
sure
took
it's
out
up.
everything from that school when we closed it.
So Eric, a couple things, I think we talked about this early on, so, starters, the lease term, like I'm not a fan of doing a 6-year lease with them.
Okay.
Like, maybe only like 12 months. Because we really don't know what our needs are gonna be with that new housing development coming in, and with our continuous ADA growth. We don't know what our needs are, so I'd like to limit the lease term to, you can give them a 6-year lease, but cancelable within, it can be canceled at the end of each year or something like that. There needs to be an out for us to be able to cancel this after 12 months. So if we renew for a school year, we can cancel at the end of the following school year. And if they're not happy with that, they can go month to month.
Got it. So I'll share that with, Mr. Stevens as well.
Additionally, my opinion is that we should disconnect from the LCFF funding. We should be charging a market rate for the place with an escalator of 3 to 5% year over year. If their LCFF isn't performing well, that's not our problem. It's a really nice campus, it's a huge facility, lots of square footage. I'm sure plenty of schools would like to rent it, and it doesn't matter what the ADA is as a result of it, so we should come up with a market rate for it with just a year-over-year escalator.
So just to be clear, disconnect from the LCFF funding formula that they propose, escalate 3 to 4% each year market rate.
Because at this point, you said what they're paying now, what their proposed paying was less than what they're paying now?
45,000.
It can be,
Yeah.
I don't say, I think you should probably start from where their highest they paid last year, start from there, add a 5-10% increase on top of that, and then do the 3% escalator year over year.
Because this year, we're just projected for 25-26 because of the escalation percentage at $430,000 as far as revenue to us.
Yeah, start there.
I'll share that as well.
I think I don't want to interrupt you. Let's strengthen the indemnity language in the proposed agreement. There's some indemnification language in here, but it's a little weak, so maybe we could strengthen that up a little bit. I'm sure I can add a paragraph too, especially if you pay them. Ernesto, you don't want to take on the responsibility of the repairs there and just have be like a triple net lease where we just charge them back through the lease agreement for any repairs or upgrades or updates? That would free you up to have the ability to make updates and upgrades to the buildings there to get them up to speed and then bill it back through the triple net lease.
Whatever you guys want me to do, if you want me to take over that, and then.
Well, if we plan on making any improvements to the campus, a lot of buildings there that need to be, that are just at the end of life for the most part, so.
There's control of the work. We know what the work that.
We would be doing the work,
Correct.
so all those responsibilities you see they have responsibility for would essentially come back to us, except for the regular repairs. And then everything that gets done would just get billed back to them, cost recovery, through a normal triple net lease.
Basically, we would pay for it, they would have to pay us back.
Yeah. Well, you just get billed back to the lease.
But we saw when we were there, they didn't do.
Yeah, they're not really upkeeping the buildings, they're doing bare minimum on most of it. You probably have better, you know this better than I do on the lease terms of all the buildings you run.
Yeah.
You guys make improvements all the time, and they get billed back over a period of time across the lease.
We would provide that, but that's us.
Yeah, it's just
coming
a
back.
because, again, we have to review it, and then if they don't do it, we do it, but it's gonna be more money in the long run if we
I
don't.
think they ran a box truck into one of the buildings and didn't fix it, just
Yeah.
left it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was quite a bit there. So I think
There's a little bit more control.
based on their history of lack of performing maintenance and taking care of repairs that we know that are necessary, like I don't know that we trust them to continue. We're gonna have to be on top of them the whole time.
So I put that down as well, and I'll take it to.
Sorry, this drastically changes your
It's
agreement.
okay.
But,
Well, this is why
Yeah.
subcommittee is so effective. So I'll take it back to Mr. Stevens. Again, it'll be dialogue back to Eileen,
of
it'll be
course.
back and forth, but we can maintain this as a future agenda item.
Yeah.
Clearly, as we really fine tune this agreement.
their current lease, are there any month-to-month provisions in this?
No.
I was gonna say the same thing, but at least for 6 years.
Oh,
Way
yeah.
too long.
Especially when we don't know what our needs are.
So we're growing. So we could do the you know, we could do the 6-year like you said, and then
With the
maybe a
revocable.
clause of, yeah, revocable.
We just
after
do
12 months.
or just do
If needed.
a 1 year with 5-year extensions, like 1 year
Yeah.
extensions with
Yeah.
options every year to go on to the next.
Very good.
Cool. That's all I had for that item. Anybody else have feedback?
Thanks for the feedback.
All right, bus leasing options, Mr. Acton-Agua.
Just pass this to you guys.
You keeping those or?
I don't think so.
So I put together on the first page, you're gonna see a repair report of the buses. So far, last year we spent 66,529. This year, just January and February, we had several buses breaking down.
I saw one getting on a tow truck the other day.
Yep. This year we spent basically in 2 months, $28,400. And it's basically, major repairs, transmissions, injectors. Just keep having issues left and right with the old buses.
I did ask Mr. Moore to kind of put these figures, you know, for us to review and to have knowledge of current as well as last year's figures, as we're entertaining, you know, lease or purchase option, because it does play a factor in terms of what's coming out of our pocket for maintenance.
Yeah, look, I think we all know that our buses are well past their planned usable life, so I think we have to do something.
Mhm.
It's really figuring out what the best financial route is for us, whether we wanna do like a 100,000-mile leases on them and return them every, however many years it takes us to put 100,000, how long does it take you to put 100,000 miles on a bus?
Well, it's gonna take quite a while. Normally, we were
20,000.
calculating, we use around 15,000 miles a year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe it's a 5-year, 75,000 or something like that, and we're swapping them out or something.
Yep.
But, we have to do something, obviously.
Yes, yeah, the need is there.
So what is our best?
200.
So basically, right now, if we lease a 76 passenger school bus, it would cost us $53,258 a piece. Annual, it would be $212,954. And a 5-year with taxes and everything would be $236,911. Annual maintenance would be between $20,000 to $28,000, just maintaining the buses. Basically oil changes,
Yeah,
tires, brakes,
yeah.
regular. We wouldn't have to worry about engines, transmission. It's got a 5-year warranty, 100,000 miles. The mileage itself is 15,000 miles annually. If we exceed that, it's gonna be 50 cents a mile afterwards. That's how much they charge.
You wanna build some
And-
buffer in there for yourself, or are you sure on the 15,000?
That's what they give us 15,000
Okay.
miles around, yeah.
That's
15,000
that's
miles.
standard.
Yeah, that's the standard. He said he could probably go up to 20,000, but we have to basically talk to him
Yeah.
and make sure.
Probably be safer to
Yep.
have a cushion.
Yep. Then versus purchasing a bus, they start off from 142,900 to 140,000. The cost to operate those buses would be between 55,000 and 74,000 miles. Dollars. That's how much it would cost per bus. Basically, it's almost a little bit more because of the age of the buses. There's gonna be more breakdowns with them. And, we have a higher risk of them breaking down if they're used as well.
I'm always a fan of the 5-year leases, just because your cost is now steady, cause that cost never goes away, right? You're just
No.
paying that annually, forever. It goes up a little bit each year, but you're essentially just paying it annually forever. But you lose all that maintenance requirement in a large purchase, cause this year is any indicator,
Mhm.
you're on track to spend a lot more than that
Oh,
this year. And then it's only gonna get worse from there.
And that's why we want to have that as the front page, to kind of put it all
Yeah.
in perspective.
With the downtime as well, so.
That too, right.
So,
I have a question,
Mhm.
maybe it's just my math brain. The annual cost being 212, shouldn't the total cost then be in the million?
No, it's 53,000 per bus per year.
So that 236 is with the tax, so that's per
Yeah.
year, not 5 years.
But that's not a total, that's
So
per
you-
year, not
yeah,
for
you're-
5
yeah.
years. So
I
our
understand
cost
what you're
over
saying.
5
5
years is
years,
gonna be
yeah.
that times 5,
Right.
right?
Oh, yeah,
Which would be like $1 million.
yeah. Essentially the same price as buying 4 new buses.
And
Yeah.
this is for the Ford, okay.
Yeah, either that or we get new buses every
Yeah,
5
yeah.
years, which sounds better.
Yeah, new buses sound much better, because they won't break down, because we have a lot of, when you're on a trip with the kids, the last thing you wanna do is break down.
Yeah. Safety.
so the recommendation of
I-
our district would be leasing
Yes.
instead of purchasing.
How many buses do you have right now?
Right now, we have
13 or something, right?
7 buses,
The 7 total?
yeah, but out of those 7 buses, they're.
Only one of
breaking
them's
down.
new, right?
Only one of them
One
is new,
new.
yes, that is correct.
Okay. So you're saying that you 5, you'll be fine,
We should
5
be,
total
yeah.
buses.
Basically,
Backup, Kyle?
we would need 3 regular transportation buses, and the actual new one that we have right now would be a total of 4. If we could be 5, that would be great.
Do you make do with 4?
We could do it with 4, cause we
We
would
try
have
with
1
4.
spare. It would be brand new,
Yeah,
yeah.
keep your
We're,
one.
we're not even touching the sped buses, cause those are the newest ones we have.
Okay.
We have.
So how many
issues with those.
buses are out on the route per day going to pick kids up?
Basically, for the route itself, we do need 3.
Okay,
And for
'Cause-
field trips,
right.
we need at least 2 more.
So that's
a total of 5.
so you need 5, because you have the 3, you have sporting
Mhm.
events, you have field trips, so.
Yep.
if
There's
you don't
3
have
stay
5
on the route and 2 go out to
Right.
do field trips.
Should the 5th bus, should we do 3 of the 76 passenger and 1 that's more suited for field trips?
All of them would be able to be used for field trips, cause they're gonna have storage underneath,
Okay.
yeah.
Air conditioned?
Oh yeah, air conditioning, it would be.
So,
under-
cause the sports teams need.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like the one that we purchased the last time.
Okay.
These are gonna have storage underneath.
So
of
that
them.
one will be used for like the everyday route?
Yeah.
It seems like the one you purchased probably more suitable for the elementary school, just because the kids are smaller, because it is, I've heard, it's smaller, right?
The seats are closer together.
Basically, they're a little bit closer, but they could fit, if, all the buses are almost the same, you could almost fit the same amount, it all depends on the size of the students. Some of them need to put 3, some of them 2.
Let me put a football team on there.
Yeah.
You could fit the same amount, comfort might be.
Yep.
As long as you're not over 5'7", you're good.
With the buses you're planning on getting, can we look at these? Can we
Yeah.
participate in looking
I
at these
could- I
before the
could.
purchase is made?
Of course.
Yeah, I could definitely get a hold of them and
Maybe we get
let
a
us go,
a
we
few
can
of
probably
the,
take a look at
a
them.
few more stakeholders involved in
Mhm.
deciding which bus we actually get.
Mhm.
Can they, bring them here, or do we have to go somewhere?
Let me see, I'll ask to see if they're able to bring them down.
Where are they
there if we
located
have to. Let me see.
Roughly? Are they in LA, or are they?
No, they're,
Texas.
well, the company's in LA.
Even if we could go to another school and see one or something, like, just to be able to go, okay, here's
Let me
the-
make some calls and, I'll give you guys more information.
Yeah, we can just go see one.
Palmdale School District, they have some of those buses already as
Perfect.
well.
We can make an arrangement there, it's a
Yeah.
short distance. Yeah.
But I'm definitely a fan of the leasing, I think it ends up being better, and you probably don't need as many mechanics either to keep everybody in staff, like there's still an open position, right, that we could
Basically,
probably get rid of.
our regular mechanic that we have now, he would be able to do just the maintenance on them.
So we can eliminate that open position.
We talked about that too,
Yeah.
if we go the leasing
Mhm.
route, there's some cost savings there,
Yeah.
we could just close that position.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
Can we freeze that position for now until?
Until we have
Yeah,
a need for
let's,
it.
yeah, till we,
Yeah.
if we shouldn't though, if we have new
We
buses.
shouldn't, but yeah, I'm just saying, in case something, just that the board says,
Yeah.
not that they should go with our opinion.
Yeah, sure.
But
Let's do that.
Well done, Joe.
Thank you, thanks Ernesto.
You're welcome.
I think, if it's possible, Eric, for the actual for the board,
Mhm.
we present it to the whole thing, I think you almost have to do like a side-by-side, like upfront purchase,
Mhm.
and then have your savings lined up against it, position savings,
Sure.
maintenance cost savings, like.
Yeah.
And I think you have, and it's gonna look a lot better because you've got a $28,000 spend that you've done the first month of January, like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, we won't just put the proposal there in terms of, let's say, the lease agreement.
Yeah.
We'll have additional attachment, similar to what we presented here, kind of a side-by-side comparison, so to put it all in perspective.
The company you're working with should probably be able to do that for you.
Yeah,
I bet they would put something together for you if you asked, or at least get a lot of it done. You can add your own stuff in, like savings on a position and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And then, how much are we spending on like tow trucks and repair
There's that
costs
too.
and stuff out in
Having
the field every
to-
time we have to go save a group of kids?
Go to bases. Full
Yeah.
buses on.
I evacuated on a freeway before, it wasn't fun.
Oh.
We had to change buses on the side of the 14 freeway.
Mhm.
My son had to do that.
No.
Kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
And it was,
Kinder.
it was at one of those
That's
spots
quite
that
an
was like a
proposition.
cliff, and
Oh.
so it was my job to stand at the rail. I didn't feel super safe.
when was this?
I was a teacher,
Oh,
So.
I remember that one, yeah.
I'm old, I've been around.
I'm in a good position. Very good.
All right, any other comments on that? Let's see, facilities projects update, Mr. Moore.
So right now, I'm gonna pass out the, Acton-Agua Dulce campus facilities update. So on the first page, you're gonna see all the repairs that were done by iLead. Basically, the restrooms, the bungalows were repaired, the drinking fountains, the side panels by the restrooms, the roof on the multi-purpose room was repaired as well, classroom ramps, the cracks on the playground, the classroom located by the front that had the damage on the top got repaired as well. The two restrooms roofs on the sides over by the playground. All the trees were trimmed, and they replaced the wooden poles down on the bus turnout area that were all broken and falling apart. This is from the list I put together for them to repair.
And you went and verified all this?
Yes, I went in person, and you're also gonna see pictures.
Absolutely.
On those classrooms where the siding had to be repaired, did they fix their sprinkler system? Cause that was the cause of it, cause the sprinkler
Yes.
system was
I told them to make sure get those sprinklers out of there, so they're not doing a full
hitting the side
circle.
of the
Because
building.
they're hitting the building and everything was just falling apart. So that's the first picture you're gonna see, that, before the repairs.
Okay.
Second picture, you're gonna see the actual roof that got fixed. They, cleaned up around the area where the water well system is. Before, you couldn't even see anything there, everything was,
Yeah. You know, when we do, in the lease agreement as well, Eric, I was meant to mention this, like, their maintenance, like weed eating and trimming and stuff like that has always been hit or miss. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not really done.
there's another
Wow.
picture of another roof they repaired as well. That's the actual side panel of the bungalow that got fixed by the multi-purpose room. You're gonna see the asphalt that they filled in, the cracks as well. And the top of the roof that was falling apart, they put it back in place as well. Next picture, you're gonna see the ramps that got painted. Everything looks nice and clean. And there's another picture with more ramps in the bottom area that they cleaned up and fixed all the broken poles that were down there by the bus turnout. And the restroom siding, they got repaired as well. This page, you can see
I know you
the,
know this, they really gotta pull the, like the aggregate and the dirt and stuff that's up against the building there is what's causing it. They gotta pull that away from the building,
Yep.
or it's just gonna do it again.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit back over there and make sure they're clearing everything out.
You gotta rake all that
100%.
away.
And you're gonna see the picture of the one, that roof that got damaged by that vehicle that backed up into,
No.
got straightened out, and it's back in place the way it's supposed to be. The drinking fountain, it's functional now, before you couldn't even drink out of it, now it's all repaired.
They do have filters too, right?
Yep, they put a filter system on it as well, and it's not leaking water anymore, it got repaired.
Yeah, just seeing the way they were maintaining it, it makes
Mhm.
sense to
Yep.
take out this on ourselves.
What are they doing as far as their filter system? Are they marking it, changing it? Like-
Yeah, their maintenance guys keep track of it, they gotta replace it once in a,
Trish,
It's Trish.
every 6 months. That's the way it's supposed to be replacing the filters. So this one, you're gonna see the fence got repaired from one side to the other. Last time I was there, it was all falling down, something hit it. That's the last picture we have on there. Is there any questions you guys have?
no, that's good follow.
Now we're gonna go to the projects update for 2026 for Acton-Agua, Dulce. So there you're gonna see at Vasquez High School, we completed the shade structures.
Those are all in now? Oh,
They're all in, they got put in during the break. Little Owls, we completed the kitchen. For the Little Owls, we completed the multi-purpose room as well.
Little
High
Al's
Des-
Kitchen, is that the former weight room that
Yeah.
was,
Yes, it's completed, it looks nice, you're gonna see pictures in the one. High Desert School, we're still pending on building 1 and building 2 roof. It's gonna be done pretty soon, hopefully. We couldn't do it because of the rain.
yeah,
So High Desert School, there's pending, girls' locker room, there's a leak in there. We got 2 quotes, I'm gonna pass them around right now, so you guys can take a look at them in a bit when I'm done with this. And Little Owls, we're pending on the phone system as well. You're gonna see pictures of the, shade structures.
no, that turned out good.
Second page, you can see the other shade structures on the side, next to the gym. Little Owls, you can see the cafeteria, kitchen. Next picture, you can see the actual
Wow,
Looks good.
that looks great.
multi-purpose room, without that ugly green grass that was there.
Nice.
Yes.
Then you see the picture of High Desert, the roofs, the locker rooms that are still pending, and the phone system. Is there any questions for me?
Yeah, I know there were some other things that they wanted done specifically at High Desert with more hardscape, kind of around the areas, help to kind of secure the floors. Do we have a budget update on where we're at with, what we had planned to spend? I know we had a lot of savings related to those roofs.
I don't have a number for you right now at this
Okay,
moment.
maybe next meeting we can do a forecast of,
But I am getting quotes, for summer projects for next, basically I'm starting a list.
yeah,
That way we could have proposals ready and a list, we could go down through it and see what you guys wanna do. And High Desert's one of them.
yeah, and I think
already-
High Desert, we had quite a bit allocated, and I know we experienced like a lot of savings compared to what our initial estimates were.
The roof, but now there's a new roof that needs to be done.
Okay, but still, it should
Yeah.
still be, we should still have some budget left over at High Desert.
We'll go with the original, cost estimates in terms of then the actuals and bring it back for possible, saving at High Desert. So, that'll be for a future agenda.
Any other questions?
No, nice work, thank you.
So this is part of the, these are the estimates for the roofs for the repairs at High Desert.
For the gym.
Jim, correct?
Come on.
for the gross locker room.
We replacing or repairing?
Basically, it's gonna have, two quotes. It's to repair it. So that's the first one from Total Roofing. This is the second one from K&K Construction.
Mr. Moore, could you go through, you know, is it a like and for like proposal?
So basically, when I bring out the contractors, I tell them what we have. They go around and they do their own judgment, what needs to be done. One of the vendors just proposed to take off everything, replace the actual paper underneath, put the existing panels back in place.
That
That's
metal roof?
K&K Construction,
It's a metal roof?
yes. Total Roofing wants to replace everything, brand new. Metal and paper underneath it. So
So-
basically, they're not the same. One of them's using existing metal, the other one's putting it in brand new.
Yeah, scope
That's the
of work.
reason the Total Roofing came in at,
32.
yeah, 32,000. And K&K Construction came in at 19,638.
If K&K gave, can we get an estimate from K&K to do a full?
Yeah, I could talk to him
If
and
we're
let him know.
gonna tear stuff off, we should do a full
Yep.
revamp.
I think so too.
Okay, yeah, I'll get a hold of him and tell him to put something together for,
Do they each have
total.
an equal warranty period on the roof? If they do a full replacement, I just do a warranty comparison.
For the Total Roofing, there is a warranty. The other one should be a warranty, but it's not as much because it's basically only fixing the underneath. It's gonna have the existing metal on top.
I guess I'm curious what the warranty term is, because it doesn't say on the, even on the total roofing, it doesn't have a warranty period. It's blank, the period of blank days.
I'll double check on that, but normally they do have a 1-year warranty when they come out and
For
they
roof?
do
No,
a repair.
Right,
Yeah.
but the roof
A
itself.
replacement should be a lot more than
Yeah, I
just
would
a
think
year.
replacement should be like 5 or 10 years, isn't it?
Or more.
More, yeah.
Total,
And this is not the whole, locker room, it's just the side panel of the girls' locker room area.
So just my recommendation is more for future quotes.
Mm-hmm.
One comes in and says, okay, we're gonna do a complete, you know, we're gonna go ahead and gut the roof and put a whole new replacement. Ask the other proposals, other vendors to do the same and provide that, so we just really have a like for like.
I think part of it is, you know, we're not roofers here, so we're looking for them to provide recommendations as well,
Mhm.
which is usually
Mm-hmm.
where you use their experience to kind of help with your scope of work.
Yep.
But I do agree with you that if you do find one that you like and you go, yeah, I think we're trending towards this.
Yep.
The girls' locker room, is that whole place need to get redone?
No, it's
a
only
specific part of
one
it?
area inside the office of where the teacher's located.
Okay.
It's just one corner that's leaking.
What's the usable life on the
The
back
other-
of the rest of the roof?
It's still in good condition. We haven't had any leaks at all.
Okay, is there,
Boys' locker room's perfect. Girls' locker room's just one corner. It just happened to start leaking right there.
you have an opinion on this?
I don't know about the roof outside, the roof inside is falling down,
No.
like the
the
tiles
ceiling?
themselves,
The
but I don't
ceiling?
know that that's water damage, we just had a tile fall.
That's the locker room, not that's the multi-purpose room, not the locker room itself.
Correct.
It's two different areas.
Oh, okay,
The gym, at the top of the actual multi-purpose room, it's all gravel and rock. On the girls' locker room and
Oh,
boys'
it's
locker room,
metal.
it's metal roofing.
oh,
So it's two different kinds of roofs.
got it.
Are we doing any changes to the tile and stuff in the ceilings on these?
We're
part of it?
basically, right now, all we're doing after the rainy season is replacing them. After we complete building 1 and building 2, my goal is to do the multi-purpose room as well.
Okay. Bill, you have?
No, I just think it would be like for like.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a
I'll
second
work
quote.
on getting
Okay.
it.
Definitely.
Normally, when I bring them out, that's what they do. They basically do their own
If you're gonna do
evaluation.
this much of a repair,
Mhm.
it's not worth, especially if
Mhm.
they're gonna be, it's a repair, we're not
Yep,
warranting it.
so I'll get them to match apples with apples.
Thank you.
You notice on, total roofing, that they're excluding any plywood or anything they find that's gonna be exposed underneath it.
Which
Yep.
it's excluded on this one.
Is it?
Yeah, most of the vendors, they
Because you
don't
don't
wanna
know if it's-
include
It's one square or 10 squares.
Yeah.
Maybe, start with one of these, and I'm sure you have a digital copy, right,
Yes.
of this?
Mm-hmm.
Feed it into ChatGPT and ask it to create you a scope of work that you can give to both of them, have them create a quote from, might be the easiest way to do it.
So I'll get that as soon as, I'll work on it.
Thank you.
Okay. That's all I have. Any other questions?
No, any feedback on the shade structures over there? Is that, positively received? Probably more.
Well, I think it was something about people hanging on them, something.
We haven't had any issues with
Okay.
anybody.
Just, we were concerned,
Well, you're concerned.
we were concerned. But I asked Dr. Smith, I saw him today at the, assembly for career day, and she's like, no, not so far. So, we're not making a public announcement,
Yeah.
not to, because when you say
Yeah,
not
there's
to,
no
they
choice.
will.
But they're being used.
Yes.
Mhm.
Those canvas tops, do you have is there a life expectancy on those or warranty period under them, and when should you plan on replacing them? Do you know?
They're, basically, they are under warranty, but it should be okay for 10 years at the most.
Just plan.
Unless we get fire, then they'll start, some
Of
things will
course,
start
yeah.
doing holes, and then the wind will start shredding them, and we have to replace them.
As I say, when do you actually use your 10 years?
They're wind resistant, we don't have to worry about that one. They're not gonna go anywhere.
Pull concrete out of the ground, just forget to take it with it. All right, future meeting agenda items, so I guess we're gonna look at, we're gonna look at some
Savings.
buses,
Mhm.
make the updates for the iLead lease.
Mhm.
You gotta come back to us with the LLC, that allows Learning Center phone lines.
Correct.
But yeah,
Roofs?
roofs, yeah.
Projects. Mhm.
But maybe we could get the, who would be the best people to do like to go look at the bus that they're planning on purchasing, like each of the school principals, or would that be the right group?
Maybe, athletics have an ED, whether it's Ms.
Yeah.
Button or Mr. Sparks, a principal, of course, MOT, thoughts? No?
A really big high schooler?
Yeah.
We could take a TK, we could take a senior.
Bill and I could-
TKs
Bill
are
and
not
Bill and I will
great.
sit side by
Yes,
side.
there you go.
Hopefully I can get them
Well,
during the
you
bus.
used to.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
worst case
If
scenario,
not,
we could,
Yeah,
we
Steve,
could
though.
have
Fit
Palmdale.
in the airplane
Yep.
seat better.
That is a big difference.
I don't think you need to wait till the next meeting to arrange that. If you get a time and a date, we can
Yes,
do that,
that's
we can make that happen.
Okay, yeah, I'll find out, gotta get a hold of a contractor, and I'll definitely find out when either they come to us or we'll go to Palmdale.
Just let me know, then I'll communicate to our board
Yeah.
liaisons.
Sounds good.
Any other items we want to comment? Final comments? No? All right, we adjourn this meeting at 4:53 PM. Thank you, everyone.